Have you ever been told that you can't go broke taking a profit? It's a common piece of trading advice, but it's not entirely true. In this video, I'm going to show you the proof that taking profits early can actually lead to unprofitability in the long term. I'm Unbiased Trading, and let's get straight into this. For this example, I'll mainly focus on showcasing simplistic small cap strategies, plus a bonus futures example if you stay until the end of this video. Let's consider a simple shorting strategy for small cap gappers at open. We're looking for 100% gap or more between $1 and $20 at open. We want a market cap below 1 billion and above 1 million. We're risking $500 a trade, and we're using a 15% stop from our entry price, which would be at the open. We'll run this strategy twice, once with a end of day target and once with a 5% take profit. All other parameters will remain the same to keep this a fair example. So here's the difference on an equity curve between those two take profit options. With nothing else changed, the result really speaks for itself. Taking 5% profit might be more comfortable in the short term, but sacrifices long-term profitability. Now, there are a couple cases where you may want to have some kind of system in place to stop losing on trades in the end of day kind of market area. A really easy example of this is in small caps. There is actually a common trend, and if you look statistically, you'll be able to see it, that VWAP reclaims at end of day are quite common. Now, the way you can stop that is a couple different methods. For me personally, I look for if it reclaims VWAP plus like a safety margin, so it has to go at like a percentage or two above VWAP, then I'll cut the trade. That normally means I'm cutting it for maybe half R, or maybe sometimes I'm still in profit depending on the trade. But most of the time I'm not taking a full R loss on that trade. Now, yes, it can be painful. I can sometimes be up 2R and then I cut it for break even, or maybe even a bit of a loss. It's a painful thing to go through, but it's something that it's just pure discipline that you have to stick to your system. You can see the results right in front of you. If I wasn't disciplined and I just wanted to take that early 5% profit, I'm actually ending negative after like 4 years. It's not worth it by any means to sacrifice that short-term kind of pain and then really sacrifice the long-term winning if you're just wanting to get away from that short-term pain of, taking profits quickly. And that's why I recommend, try and think in hundreds of trades instead of the single trade. Thinking hundreds of being like, okay, how will this look like if I do this over 100 trade? How will I be if I trade 100 more of these tickers is a way better perspective, at least for myself, compared to just thinking about the next kind of trade. But how much worse are actually the results? If we take the easy option and we just take 5% profits, you are left with minus 21% after 4 years of this trading this strategy, while end of day covers leave you with over 197% returns. But maybe this only applies to small caps. Let's go into our next example. Here's another example. This is trading NASDAQ futures. It achieves over 150k in profits with a considerably better result when waiting for longer targets. This is the top graph just over here. Then only achieving 30k profits with a 10 tick take profit, which is the bottom graph just over here. Now, there are going to be some strategies that historically favor larger stops over targets. The key to this message really is to stick to your system instead of cutting for early profits. It will rarely work out in the long term and will only secure you fleeting profits in the short term. I really just want to hone down this message because, at least for me, this was something I wish I had learned a lot earlier on, is that in the moment, it can feel so good locking in 5 or 10% profits. It'll feel just amazing. You'll be like, amazing, look, it now reclaimed, I was correct because I locked it in and now all these people are negative on their trade. Feels really good in the short term, but you need to be thinking in the long term of that if you keep on doing this, you're just going to be worse off than everyone else that's sticking to their strategy and actually holding until the best cover. Now, that will depend on the strategy. I have some futures algos that take profits legit with 5 ticks and have like a 20 tick stop loss. It works for that historically and has very good robustness tests. However, the point there is maybe for that strategy actually, if I extended the profit taking to 30 ticks, 40 ticks, because I felt really bad that I was only locking in 5 ticks and it wasn't enough profit, then I'm going against that system and making it not profitable because I've changed that and I haven't backtested it properly. And then the other way applies as well, which most people will be able to understand in small caps is if you hold until end of day, you are going to get most likely better results. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't have some trade management things to stop you from reclaims or end of day parabolics or something like that. But it does mean you want to be sticking to a strategy instead of trying to beat it or undercut it in the short term, because it will rarely ever work and you'll just be left with a worse strategy in the long run. And that will just cause you more pain and discomfort. Now, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like it and share it with anyone else who might be interested, and I hope you now understand why taking profits early really won't secure you profitability.